Okay, welcome back to episode 4 of Guest of the Month. I am joined by two very important people from Ambrose Taxis based in Essex. I've got Jazz Haley and Andy Ambrose. Would you like to introduce yourselves and explain what Ambrose Taxis provide?
My name is Jazz Haley. I'm the Chief Operations Manager at Ambrose Taxis. We started in 1985 as a just small taxi service. We then progressed into the DRT service, and our numbers have grown substantially throughout the years, building routes, etc.
Mm-hmm. And yourself, Andy?
Yeah, my name's Andy Ambrose. I'm General Manager at Arrow. As Jazz said, we started back in 85. We moved to Dart in 2011, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. 2011. And we've developed Dart ever since.
And what kind of services do you provide now? Is it kind of varied, or is it all just one sector? It's
varied services, from the conventional taxi services through to scheduled conventional local bus services using the EVMs. On the way through there, we've gone through all manner of DRT type operations, flexible routing from conventional timetable operations to completely untimetabled, unrouted DRT area coverage. And what kind of roles do you both do in the business? I'm primarily sausage rolls. I'm general manager, but that's a bit of a misleading title because of the nature of our business. We both perform a complete range of roles, as you would expect in any small business, from accounts, sales and marketing, contract management, fleet management, the whole thing.
We work closely together as a team and just cover everything that needs covering, really. Anything that pops up day to day, we just work on together.
Yeah. So. Good. I can imagine you kind of overlap each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so, yes.
And Jazz does all the clever stuff.
And does all the talking.
And how and when did you discover EVM?
I can't remember exactly when it was, but we've obviously seen them about for a long while. Initially, we thought out of our price range until we actually decided that the whole life cost of operating an EVM was actually lower than the vehicles that we were operating at that time. Because of the reliability factor, because of the fact that it will drop on any service, which is a problem with conventional minibuses, because some local bus contracts call for low floor, some don't, some call for wheelchair access, some don't, some call for a variety of seating configurations, etc. And the EVM is the one that's managed to. The beauty of it is it can run on any service we run.
And has the EVM product been a solution to any problems that you've had in the past?
Oh yeah, definitely. The low floor aspect of the city line has improved things so much. It gives us the big bus type facilities in a small chassis.
And what kind of fleet do you have on site?
We have about 14 minibuses, 5 of them being EVMs, the rest being other types of Mercedes.
What would you say is your favourite feature on the EVM product?
Don't know. It's not. I can't single out a single feature because it's the range of features that it has. I mean, we've compared them to the other very similar type vehicles on the market. The low floor aspect, for example, of the EVM, this is one major feature. We operated some vehicles through another manufacturer whose doors couldn't open at a wheelchair access raised curb bus stop. That was a major factor. The seating arrangements, again, you can look at a number of minibuses of similar nature, including some of the big name people. they just don't seem to have thought about things properly. Whereas the beauty of the EVM is that, you know, it just fits.
They're liked around, the passengers really like them. They find them comfortable.
Yeah.
The drivers love them. I mean, they fight over them, who gets what. The workshop like them, and we like them in the office. So all round, they're just definitely their favourite vehicle we've got.
Win-win.
We've actually had letters go into county council saying, why can't other people use these buses?
Oh, wow.
Because they're so comfortable.
Yeah.
How have you found it over lockdown through the pandemic?
The beauty of Dart is we've, you know, instantly we was able to change our services to, you know, fit in with what was happening globally around the world. So, you know, second day of lockdown, we managed to pull off our vehicles onto the Dart routes that weren't carrying any passengers, do shopping deliveries, and we worked for Broomfield Hospital doing medication and chemo deliveries, like door to door. It's such a flexible operation that we can use it to what is needed. People weren't needing to go shopping, but they needed, you know, the hospital needed us to do medication. So, you know, instantly we can move things along, you know, cascade the vehicles to where they needed to be. And that's why our growth is so high. I think our top is 520% growth on one of our routes.
Wow.
The passengers like the personal service of Dart. That isn't just waiting at a bus stop. You know, we'll pick them up from their front door. We know they can walk to the bus stop. We're flexible, and that's what they like. They can ring us up and say, you know, where is the bus? We can say it's 2 minutes around the corner. It's in this road. We've got a system to do that, and just appreciate it. They don't like standing out in the wet cold waiting for things. They'd much rather the driver pick them up, have a nice chat on the way, and it's more of a family service, I'd say.
What keeps you both motivated and driven?
Over to you, Jazz.
I would say, you know, making passengers happy, really. It's nice at the end of the day to know that you've helped someone. It's nice to know that, you know, you've improved, you know, someone can actually go to the shop without having to walk a mile down the road in a country lane and struggle with their shopping trolley, etc. It's nice to know, and the passengers are so grateful on the phone as well. They'll happily ring you 3 times a day and tell you how wonderful you are, and how they weren't able to do this before, and they had to travel for 3 hours to do this. It's nice to be appreciated.
And Andy, yourself?
I don't know. I've just got a passion for transport, I suppose. You know, one of the things we've done with Dart is opened up areas to public transport that didn't have any before. The smaller rural areas we can access that the big buses can't go to. We've got a place in Hawthorne, which is down by the river, and it's a bit of a nightmare road to access it, and big buses obviously they won't go anywhere near it, but it's a mile walk from there to the main road to a bus stop. We put the Dart right down there, right to their front door. It's a new market. It's opened it up.
Tell me, what achievements have Arrow Taxis recently been involved with?
We won the BBC Working with Schools Award.
Oh wow, when was that?
Conjunction with the Plume School. That was, you know, I'm going back a few years. We haven't won any awards this year, I don't think, because you know, we haven't sort of been entered for any, I don't think. But and we didn't bother attending that because we didn't think we were going to win, because of all the people that were in it. And the school phoned us up the next morning. Oh, you won. We've got the awards. Like, we accepted them on your behalf, sort of thing. So that was good.
Oh, that was nice.
And then one day we had to go up to London for the National Transport Awards. We were nominated in, I can't remember, I think it was 6 categories. I thought, oh, that's a surprise, you know, who's done that? We were sitting around the table with the captains of industry, so to speak, which was quite impressive for a, you know, a small taxi company from the suburbs.
Absolutely, yeah. I bet that was a bit of a shock to the system in a way, but in a nice way.
It was, yeah. You know, I met a lot of the top names in the industry at that award ceremony, and I think what gave me the most satisfaction from the National Transport Awards is I've got a nephew who was operations manager for Eurostar.
Oh yeah.
And we beat them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Eurostar.
And the next thing was the UK Bus Industry Awards. We were nominated. Same thing happened there. We were nominated in a number of categories, and we made the finalists in all those categories. Then the Essex County Council, I can't remember what it's called, best SME, best small medium enterprise in the county. Again, we didn't win it, but we came second. And that was quite a triumph, really, when you consider how many small businesses there are in Essex. For us to come second out of that lot, that's that was very satisfying, you know.
So where do you see yourself, or where do you see Arrows Taxis in, say, 5 years' time?
Good question. I see us more in the DRT field. I don't know if you're probably aware of this. You probably sold all your buses to these people, but there's been lots of pilot schemes for DRT, which I think we're the most successful DRT scheme that's ever operated in the UK from the point of view of the financial implications of it, because there are many council sponsored and council subsidised services. In fact, you know, a lot of ours is, we work very closely with Essex County Council, but we've managed to make services commercial, and that is the big difference. Our expansion has been curtailed massively by COVID. It's just meant there's so much we couldn't do. But things are starting to move again, and we're looking now at, you know, how we can gear up to provide a better service, cover more areas, increase passenger counts and things like that. One of the things we've been successful in is growing the passenger numbers. And the second to that, maybe first to that, is the amount of people we've got using buses now who would previously have used cars for the same journey. And we've been more successful in that than we expected ourselves.
There's been an absolute drive, I think, for that.
One of the routes specifically, on the 99 route, we did a survey, 50% of people would have used a car had the DART service not existed. Which is, you know, when you're measuring in those types of categories, that's a very high percentage, very high.
Yeah, extremely high.
We're not a taxi company, we're not a bus company, we're not a community transport company. We're really more like a cross between all three of those, sort of merging those together. When we're developing a route, we'll have taxis that are registered as PSVs, special PSVs, that can operate bus routes, so that we can operate bus routes with a taxi. And if we overload a bus, we'll send a taxi and cover it with that. And people have said, well, how can that be cost effective? And it isn't, not for the one person you're carrying in a taxi. But when you get 100% passenger growth on that route as a result of it, you know, by the time that's settled down, it makes the profitability much more attractive.
Absolutely.
That's why it works so well, having the, you know, the vehicles we've got available in regards to the taxis, etc., to make sure we don't leave anyone behind, that we can always get people where they want to go. I think that's why we're so well liked as such, because we have that mentality of, if you need to get to the hospital, we'll get you there. We do, type thing. So
yeah,
people appreciate the reliability of it as well. I mean, the big thing in the bus industry is reliability. Some people will tell you fares, but I don't even believe it's that. It's you've got a strategic triad of things, haven't you? People want to get there safely, cost effectively, in reasonable time. Some of our services take longer than the trunk bus would, but then we're doing it door to door.
Yeah, that, and someone that they can trust as well as reliability, I think.
I think the drivers are also key as well.
Oh yeah, very much so. The drivers are a major factor.
Yeah, and they make their customers feel welcome. They enjoy traveling with them. I think that's a big impact as well. So
yeah, no. Well, it's been great listening to both of you. Thank you for joining me on this episode, and I'm sure I'll speak to you soon.
thank you very much.